Okay, take two. For some reason, my computer keeps crashing. This is the news about another person that was obviously around this here president. The other girl got shot, and they had the whole 8-hour funeral for her. Well, this is another girl that, whatever, I don't really care. I think it's all bullshit anyway. But anyway, here's the police car. You can see that she was 18, so that's 9. Have you ever seen lights like this on a squad car? I haven't. And what's all of this in here? I mean, this just looks kind of weird. Okay? Not that this isn't. How interesting that they cued in. I didn't know that when you drove fast in a car, everything on the light bar turned purple. I don't know. Must just be me. Let's take a look at the person. Here she is. How interesting. As in the book of Jeremiah, it says the right eye shall be blotted out. It's because that's the symbol of the evildoers. Yes? So of course she looked like this. What else would she look like? Now, let's look at this. Dr. Mona house call. They have this bitch on every morning. Morning after pill, here's this word, skyrockets. We just know what happened in Russia. That's a concern if it happened at all, but it still is, even if it's just in word and deed. Skyrockets, Gaga. Gaga is what Pluto is. Pluto is Gaga. It's a satellite or a moon of Saturn. Hip injury. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So we got a skyrocket. We got Saturn, skyrocket. We got hip injury. Oh, by the way, Saturn is the one that's laying down the destruction, in case you didn't know. So the hip injury, that goes over here to Genesis 32:35. When the man saw that he could not defeat him, meaning an angel, he struck Jacob's hip, and as they wrestled, and dislocated his hip. Okay? Gaga, hip injury. Saturn, hip injury. How is this related? Because Jacob's name got changed to Israel, and Israel in the Phoenician, what the Jews speak, is Saturn. That's your connection. Let's move on. George Lopez escaped from planet Earth. Going back to here. Skyrockets. Gaga, hip injury. So this is Saturn. Escape from planet Earth. You know, why would George Lopez, a Hispanic comedian, be talking about that? I thought mostly he talked about burritos. A picture from a video from a long, long time ago when I started. I saved it, and maybe this is why. This is from the 60s, a coffee shop in Denver, I believe, where I spent most of my life. It's interesting. Ships. Look at the logo. Ships. Okay? From the same video, the same year, the Washington Post. Franciscus. Will class please come to order? James Franciscus was an actor in the 60s and 70s. You notice he has red hair. This is the Franciscan order. Catholic. Nazi. Saturn. Okay? Another version of trick or treat. You see it here? Now let's move on over here. All of this is tied together. Beatles cartoon. Tell me what you see. Well, I'll tell you what I see. I see the owl, the same one that's in Bohemian Grove, which is Nazi, which is Saturn, which is fascism. Here's the Pope doing the same thing. How interesting, huh? Then they show this commercial. Here it is. There's the X, that's a ring. This is a ring. This is a ring. And this is a ring. And it's in the cube, right? And it's this thing right here. Remember the thing, the sheriff's badge I showed you? It's this thing. That's what's running all of this stuff. Okay? This guy here appears to be a thief that's trying to break into this thing. And just to show you one last little bit. Remember I told you the red and blue are always opposed? This is Fox News. Notice the hands representing the two pillars, the right and the left. Notice the dress, red and blue, the right and the left. You starting to follow this now? This is May 6th. I can't see what the date is, but the guy's house that this came from was at 703 Spruce Street. I know right where that is. H. Alt House. And that's in Denver. So, I hope you're getting that. All of this is coded bullshit because something's getting ready to go down. Something's getting ready to go down. This picture's interesting because here's a railroad crossing over here. Why is this railroad, I mean, why is it set so far back from the road? I mean, yeah, I get it, you know, but I mean, what? You know, I don't understand why it's set so far back. But this to me is concerning, as is this. Escape from planet Earth, ships, skyrockets, Gaga, hip injury. Ties right in with the biblical story. See, I told you the news is always running biblical stories. Okay, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And so we see here, it says, why was Jacob's name changed to Israel? The stranger, who was clearly a god, told Jacob that henceforth his name would no longer be Jacob, but would instead be Israel. For he had wrestled with God. 1 second. And here from H.D. Robinson from 1833, so this is not propaganda. The name of the planet Saturn is by the Phoenicians called Israel. So we know that Jacob wrestled with God, which is that cube that Jacob's hip and socket dislocated, and his name was changed to Israel, and then the planet Saturn's Phoenicians is called Israel. So we know that all of this has to do with this bullshit fucking story right here. All of it. Because that's Gaga, that skyrocket, hip injury, it's all there. It's all there. Figure it out yourself, but I'm right. As have I been all along. I don't pat myself on the back. All I'm doing is just reconfirming. That is all.